complacent, I would work in a mansion or basement, yeah. There's no replacement for persistence, it's a patience, yeah. In this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring, and I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion. My whole life I just wanted someone. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent, I would work in a mansion or basement, yeah. There's no replacement for persistence, it's a patience, yeah. In this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring, and I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 yeah. This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent, I would work in a mansion or basement, yeah. There's no replacement for persistence, it's a patience, yeah. In this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring, and I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 yeah. This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent, I would work in a mansion or basement, yeah. There's no replacement for persistence, it's a patience, yeah. In this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring, and I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, my whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be.
Good morning. Welcome in, welcome in. Hope everybody's doing all right today. This is Wednesday, October 19th, and this is the Foul Pole Morning Show. Appreciate you guys jumping on, catching the live stream this morning. I was trying to get it up on Facebook this morning, but ran into some difficulties. So we're just going to be running it here on YouTube this morning. Got a couple good things planned for the show today. We're going to talk about a couple of topics that I get into discussions about. We're going to talk a little bit about social media. We're going to talk about stats. We're going to talk about a couple different things this morning. So looking forward to that. We're at that time of the year, at that season. We got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of different things that we're doing, whatever. It's one of those things where maybe in between seasons, you got school ball going on, workouts. You could be in the middle of a season with your high school or middle school. There's just a lot of different things going. So everybody's in that same boat. Everybody's kind of doing the same thing. It's a fun time of year because you can assess kind of what you've done up to this point. You could be jumping into a new sport, maybe you're getting into volleyball or basketball or something else. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty fun. And as always, you're posting different things on social media. You got different things going on. Fundraisers trying to get up for the next year. We're right at Halloween now. After that, we got Thanksgiving, then we got Christmas, and then, hey, we start it all back over again. So, but it is, a good time just to kind of reassess everything. It's always good to do that, I feel. So we're going to get into a little bit of that this morning. We'll talk a few different things as we kind of move through it this morning. Going to be a little bit shorter stream today. I got some stuff going on later on this morning, but I did want to jump on here and talk to you fine folks. So if you're catching this on the live stream, I appreciate you being here. If you're waiting for the VOD to come out and you're watching this a little bit later on, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you like and comment as well. We got a couple of announcements to make a little bit later on. I do want to get into that a little bit sooner rather than later. What I've kind of created is a jot form, and I'm going to put this down in the description below. It's a form where I want you guys to kind of jump out there, fill it out, and what this form is I want to know about you. I want to know you, your team, your organization, and I'll pull it up on stream here a little bit later on. But it's really cool. Something I want to do, kind of highlight you, your organization, and what you guys are doing. That way we can kind of help promote whatever you got going on, kind of go through and see, where you're at. What part of the country are you in? What sanctions you play with? What's your team colors? What's your team mascot? What age group are you playing in? Just kind of, So what I'll do is I'll highlight, a couple a day or one a week, just depending on where it kind of fits in with the show. I want to kind of go to your website and or your social media page and kind of highlight you for a little bit. So that'll be coming online here pretty soon. It's been done. I just have to get it out there to all the socials. So really looking forward to that. Hoping that at some point we'll get enough feedback on that, and we can go from there. Exciting stuff there. As always, the social medias, whether you're looking for me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, always out there. I'm not the best at it for sure. I try to stay out there and posting some stuff, just stuff to kind of, thought provoking different things. And as always, I mean, I'm not an expert on any of this kind of stuff. I just get this stuff out there. Like if I hear it, I just want to put it out there. And we may disagree on some things, we may agree on some things, and that's fine. I'm cool with that. But I just like to get it out there to hear your opinion. Maybe you comment on something, or you say, hey, man, you're way off base. Or I had a guy the other day. I had posted something probably 2 weeks ago, and just his thing was, I think his comment was, this is a dumb question. But what was crazy is there were over 100 and some odd, 120 comments answering the question. And it wasn't like I took a side or I took a stand. I mean, I asked the question, should practices be open to parents? And I didn't say what side of the fence that I was on. I didn't say, it should be this or it should be that. I didn't. No, I mean, that didn't come out. So I put it out there for other people to hear, to listen to it, to respond. So of course, there's going to be those trolls out there, and we're going to get into that a little bit later on too. Just like, why, if you're not going to contribute, if you're not going to give your response or however you want to put it out there, why even comment? You know what I mean? Like, what do you get out of that? And we fall into that trap. I fall into that trap too. I'll see something, I'm just like, man, that is just way off base, and I've gotten away from it. But it's just like, if you're not going to put something out there constructive, or you're not going to be able to back up your opinion, or at least, hey, this is the way I feel, and this is why I feel this way, and maybe someone feels like you or whatever. But don't just go out there and be mean to be mean. That's the thing that like I think hurts a lot of people, and it prevents people from wanting to comment or want to ask questions and get an opinion, because they know there's going to be somebody out there that's just going to bash them for saying whatever they say, asking the question that they ask, and that, to me, that's hurting us as a community. That's hurting us as a sport. That's hurting us down the road. And it doesn't matter. I mean, softball is a community. It's a big community. I mean, there's so many different elements to this game that I don't even know. There's pockets that play it. There's brands inside of the softball brand that I have no idea, and I want to get to know them. I want to learn more about them. I want to find out, who these people are, what world they're in, what, are you playing college? Are you playing international? Is it the male league? Is it slow pitch? Is it fast pitch? Did you used to play? Now you're getting back into it. Do you have daughters that play? Do you what's the deal here? That's my that's my thing. Like, where can the community grow, and how can we learn? But if we're going to bash each other on socials or get onto somebody because they ask a question, and you may know the answer to the question, and it may seem like a silly question to you, like, why would somebody ask this question? Well, at some point, you didn't know what you know now. You had to learn it too. And imagine if you wanted to know something, what's the hotter bat, Ghost or the Mantra, or what glove, or you had a question about a rule, and then somebody just bashed you because you didn't know the answer to it. We can't be like that as a society and as a community. And that's where we're at now. That's where we're at today. You look at some of these social media groups. I mean, you look at the coaching tips and drills and softball, like whatever. Man, that thing's got over 100,000 followers on it. So there's 100,000 people that are seeing this question or seeing this post. And of course, we don't all see everybody's stuff, just how the algorithm works. But when we post something out there, I mean, you're out there to the wolves, man. Like they're gonna they're coming after you, and that's like their outlet. Like, okay, I could ask a question here, and I'll get a bunch of different responses, and we'll see. You know, like if I had a question about shoes, my pitcher, her toe keeps ripping out. You know, what have you guys done to prevent this, or what shoes will hold up better? And then there's some troll in there that goes, well, if she's dragging her foot like this, she's tearing her cleats up. She probably shouldn't be pitching, or she has bad mechanics because of this. Okay, all right. If you can't respond to that exact question and answer, or at least put something out there to open up the conversation, you could say, I've used these, or I've done this, or this is what my daughter does, and we changed it. She doesn't do it anymore because her motion changed. She doesn't drag the side of her foot anymore. So you can give, constructive feedback and criticism, but do it in a way where it's going to make that person want to ask more questions down the road. It's going to make them want to, continue, because you don't know what day this person is having. You don't know what mood they're in. You could be, somebody that could change their thought process, good or bad. So as a human, just be courteous to one another. If it's at the ball field or if it's on social media, it doesn't matter where we're at. It's just disheartening when you see it as much as we do, and it makes us not want to comment or post or put out good information to people, because we know at some point there's going to be a troll that just bashes you, and you're like, all right, well, that's it. You just ruined it for everybody, So just keep in mind your audience. Keep in mind like what you're doing, who and what you're saying, because you can hurt a lot of feelings. And that might be you. That might be your. That might be just who you are as a person, and I hate that. But moving on from that, we can get into that a little bit further if you'd like to. But I do want to talk about social media. I want to talk about the good and the bad, the do's and the don'ts from just what I've seen, and so we'll get into that. And when I mean social media, it could be anything to get. Like, it don't have to be one of these Facebooks or Twitters or Instagram or TikTok or something like that. It could be a website. It could be a newspaper article, an online newspaper article. Of course, there's no newspapers around anymore. But anytime you're out in the media, there's a certain way. And we talk about different brands. We talk about different things on the past couple of episodes here. And it's one of those that whenever you say something or do something, it's out there. And that's all well and good. We could use it as a good thing. And I want to use it as a good thing. So just taking me, for instance, with Black Diamond as a brand, taking your business where you work at, what you do, you want to make sure that light that's being shined on you, you're being shined on in a good light, I should say. So as you say something, or you promote something, or you stand by something, or you're on the side, or you let it be known that you're a Democrat or a Republican, or you back this party or that party, or you're a Yankees or a Mets fan, or like whatever you put out there, you want it to be that truth of who you are, and you don't want to say something that may give someone a bad impression of you. And maybe you do. Maybe you're saying, hey, I stand by it. I am what I am. But it could cost you some business down the line. You got different teams looking for players. You got tryouts. You got different things going on. So when you post this stuff, they're going to go to social media. It's the easiest thing to do. So, for instance, if there's a team or a coach or somebody you see that, hey, we got tryouts, or we're looking to do this or we're looking to do that. First thing anybody does, I do it. First thing we do, right, is we Google that person, or we go look them up on Facebook. We're all these like internet sleuths. I think that's what it is. We're these investigators. We try to figure out who's doing what and so. We all do it. I mean, we all snoop around and, so-and-so is starting a team, or I heard so-and-so left this team, or they're joining this organization, or something like that. So we started investigating. So whatever's out there on your social media, whatever's out there on your Google page, or whatever's out there on your website, that's going to be out there for everybody to see, right? So it's everything we do is public now. Everything you do is going to be out there. So when we talk about the do's and don'ts in social media, first thing, you have your personal, and I get that you are you. Well, don't put your personal information out there on the same page, on the same platform that you want your professional stuff out there. You can have, your friends and have a private account where only your friends and family and people close to you see. And then you can have that other public one that you're going to use for that self-promotion. You're putting yourself out there to get recruited, or to get looked at, or to get seen, or to put your highlights out there, to have pages. I've seen them on Facebook now. It'll be like Sarah Smith recruiting page. So she puts all her highlights on there. She puts her schedule. She puts her camps. She puts her combine numbers. She does all that. That page is just simply dedicated to that. That's it. She could have another page, but it's private. And it's for her personal stuff, with her family and her friends and stuff like that. Allows her kid to be a kid. You know what I mean? Now, there is that fine line of who are you when the lights are on, and who are you when the lights are off, and are you the same person, and that kind of stuff. But if we don't want colleges like having to sift through, what you ate for lunch, where you went, what movie you watched, and then they find you in game playing second base, and there's some drills, or there's some plays where you let this one go between your legs and you bounce back second, third, and fourth inning and you made good plays. We don't want to have to sift through that. So if you have these pages, if you have your TikToks and your Twitters and stuff like that, whatever you're doing, make sure, look at it through their lens. What are they seeing? What do they want to see? How are they looking at it? Okay. Make sure that profile picture is relevant. I talked about this the other day about, I forgot who I was talking to, but I was talking about this the other day. If they don't know you, if they don't know that this is your code name or nickname or whatever, then it's just like you didn't post anything. It's okay, cool video. I have no idea who this little girl is. We're going to move on from her. I have no idea who she is. I have no idea how to get in contact with her. So that profile picture, having a good picture. So, it doesn't have to be glamour shots. I don't know if y'all remember glamour shots back in the day, but it don't have to be glamour shots. But a good profile picture. They can kind of see they can see your face. They know what you look like. Okay? Your bio, update that bio information. Don't just leave it from 3 years ago, because it's a snapshot. Somebody's looking. You don't want someone to have to dig to find information that they want. The information that you want out, make it easy for them to get to. So your profile, the bio, inside of that, you want it to be, pertinent information. Maybe your grad year, maybe your height, maybe your speed, maybe your where you go to school, maybe your coach, maybe your travel team, maybe that information. That's the stuff that you want to have out there. Stuff that you feel gives you the best chance to get looked at, right? Now, the videos and the clips that you put out there. I'm not going to say go out there and hire a production team to shoot these crazy elaborate videos and you have to spend a whole bunch of money. We were just talking to Nate and Josh on Monday. You don't have to go out there and produce these, 4K cinematic videos and make it like some big professional deal. No, you don't have to do that. You could do all the stuff on an iPhone or Android. Get a cheap tripod, or have someone shoot that video of you. Of working, doing your basic drills. Some of the videos that I see, getting back to the basics. Coaches want to see your technique. You don't know what mood they're going to be in. You don't know what exactly they want to see, what they want to look at, what they're looking at for that day or this week or whatever. I mean, they could have got the wrong coffee and it changed their mind this morning. They could have got the wrong, donut. The milk could have been spoiled or whatever, so their mood has changed. So you don't know what they want to see. So you want to have on your page different things. Not very long, not long videos, not like a 10-minute video. It's like a whole bunch of stuff. You don't want like a dissertation. You want clips that they can see. Thumbnails are big. You want to make that picture that they're going to click on inviting. The title of it too. Who you are. Like if okay, I'll give you an example. If you're a middle infielder, you would say your name, and if it was a drill video, it would be Sarah Smith, middle infield drills. And it's you showing your footwork. It's you showing your skill set. It's you fielding balls. It's you with your hips. It's you getting to the bag. It's making the transfers. It's that stuff. And it's quick. Just a couple of clips like that. 30, 45 seconds long of that footwork. Okay, if it's game film, make it quick. Your name, where you're at in this video. Because, man, if you guys are like ants on a screen and I have to figure out, okay, what's going on? Is she pitching, catching, hitting? Is she the center fielder? Like, who is this girl? So make sure we know who we're looking at. Make sure we know what we're looking at. So if it's a highlight, we're grabbing them from Sideline HD, Athletes Go Live, Game Changer. I'm sure I'm forgetting some. But anywhere you're streaming from. And we're going to get into this a little bit later, too, with the streams. But taking it as a clip, make it short and sweet, and you're getting to the point. These guys and girls that are recruiting, they don't have a whole bunch of time to look at different, videos of you. They'll spend all morning. We don't want them to go down a rabbit hole, because usually the rabbit hole is something negative. They're not going to go down a rabbit hole with something positive. Okay, so if it's a game clip, make it pretty recent. If you're going to promote it and send it out there to people, make it something recent. Not 2 years ago I hit a home run. Okay, what have you done lately, right? So just Sarah Smith, the team, and give a little bit of a description. A double in the bottom of the fifth. And then real quick, jump into it. Let us see, the count. Let us see the situation, so we can get some sense of what's going on there. And then, boom, once it's done, we see where it's hit. We don't have to see the entire clip. We don't have to see, the whole deal. Put them together. I mean, you can put these, like, I know HitScope on Sideline HD will put it all together. And that's one way to get out there. What you don't want to do with this stuff is make them so long. If it's not good footage, don't put it out there. If it's grainy, we can't see, the fence is in the way. The fence is locked, or the camera's locked onto the fence. We're not able to see what's going on. Hey, look, too bad. Get another clip, The social media is used to kind of get that buzz about you, and it's a piece of it. If you're going to put together like a YouTube video of highlights and stuff, keep it short, but make sure there's some stuff in it. there's not a I can't give you like, hey, do this and don't do that, because every one of these coaches and assistants, they're looking for and they're looking at different things. They're not. It's not a cookie cutter thing. Like, hey, I have to get this video, this shot, so I can send it to them and keep up with the Joneses because, Susie Q just sent this one too. I got to make sure I put this out there. Or I saw this clip, so I'm going to redo it. And that's what we do a lot of times, especially in social media. When it almost catch a trend. But do we know that the trend that's out there on social media, is that what college coaches want to see? So what do college coaches want to see? Ask them, right? You get into that communication, you start emailing coaches, or you've gone to a camp. Now you have some type of dialogue with these coaches. Ask them the question. They're not look. These coaches aren't robots. They're not withholding of information because they want to withhold information. There are certain guidelines with the NCAA that things they can and can't say, things they can and can't do, but they're also human beings. So if you ask them a question of, when I send you my clips, did you look at the last clip? Let them get a response from them. Have communication with them, right? Find out. Look at these different agencies out there. Now, I'm not telling you to go out there, pay a whole bunch of money so somebody can tell you how to do this and how to do that, and what works for this and what works for that, because that's a broad subject. There are different websites, different companies, different people out there that have created that business to help promote you. It is costly to some people. Some people, it's worth that. I'm not going to tell you to go and do that. I'm not going to tell you not to do that. You got to find what's right for you. If you feel value in that and it can benefit you, then by all means go do it. At least get an idea. But they know what they're doing. They talk to coaches. They know what coaches want to see. And you can do the same thing. You can reach out, talk to coaches, find out, hey, this weekend I'm playing. I'm going to shoot you over some video, or I'm going to shoot you over some clips, or I'm going to tag you in these posts. They like that. They want to feel involved with it. They want to feel that you have, a sense of what you want to do, and you're trying to include them in that to get your best foot forward. That, bar none. That's it. They're like I keep saying, they're not robots. These aren't machines. These are real human beings. They get that you're a real human being too. Personality is a big piece to the social media pie. And of course, social media is just a part of the process. So let your personality come through. They want to see how good of a teammate you are. The celebration factor. Put it, any way you can shine that good light for you and your surroundings and what you're doing is a big thing. It's a positive. Open up that communication with the coach. Let them know you're on socials. So once you let them know you're on socials, and you're tagging them, they see it. They know it's coming. They know what they're going to get from you. What you don't want to do in your socials is leave someone out in your tags. If you can't tag them all, don't tag any of them. And what I mean by that is you could go and hey, you hit a home run. It was a 3-2 count in the bottom of the 8th, win and run and this and that. And you hit it, and it was great. And you tag 2 schools, 3 schools. But you're also wanting, or you've got interest in, or you've been shown some interest from another school. And you forget to tag them in your post. Okay, so what happens then? What scenario have we created then? It could show that you're no longer interested in this school. Hey, this girl hit a home run. She thought it was good enough and she wanted to tag a certain group. Or are we no longer on her radar? They're not going to reach out to you and say, "Hey, you didn't tag us in this post. I was just wondering if you were still interested in coming to camp or this visit or that." So it could open up a place we don't want to be. So if you're going to tag people, pay attention to that. If you go to a camp, if you go to one college's camp, don't tag another camp. Don't tag another school. It's just not a good look. Now, if you're at a showcase camp, or if you're at a camp with multiple schools, by all means, tag away. You want to make sure you get them all involved. I appreciated X, Y, and Z today here in wherever we were at, and then you want to tag them, or make individual posts. Think it personalizes stuff. One thing that I hear a lot of from these coaches is they're getting a lot of these copy and pasted type communications in their emails or wherever. You guys are offering that communication, and they can just tell this is generic. This isn't. I get nothing from this. And it's already hard enough to get the tone and to get things out of reading. Like, you can send a text to someone and be in the best mood ever, but it could come off as you're mad about something, or or it could come off as sarcastic or whatever. So imagine how the coaches feel, the ones that are actively recruiting you. So personalize it a little bit. You will end up saying the same thing to these college coaches. There's only so many ways you can say the same thing without repeating yourself, but make sure you got the spellings right. Make sure you have the right coach. Make sure you have the right school. Make sure it is right. Proofread it. There's tons of websites out there that you can go through. Make sure your grammar is correct. That could end up knocking you off of someone's list. It's just because every time you send them an email, your grammar is just awful, or your spelling is just awful. If you do that, they're just going to be, eventually they could be like, well, you know what? If they don't have the time to proofread what they send me, then, do they have time to hit the weight room in the morning? Do they have time to study? So it all kind of plays into it, and it plays into that social media. I throw email into that social media because we're putting ourselves out there, right? So we're throwing it out there, and we're putting ourselves out there on a limb, and we want to make sure that we look as best as we possibly can. Okay, with the whole social media thing, I don't know. I can't give you, hey, do this, and you'll be golden. I can't. I have no idea. Like I said, the coaches, they're all different, and their mood. I mean, you see it every day when you go into class. Your teacher's really in a good mood today, or the teacher's not in a great mood. They're not talking as much today. There's different things that go into it. So it's like it's hard to tell you one way or the other what it is. So we're going to talk about, get into live streaming and how that plays into the social media as well. With social media, we can stream our games right to them, whether they're streaming straight to YouTube, or they're streaming to Facebook, or people are getting them to Game Changer and stuff like that. I use Sideline HD. I've used that in the past. I've used Game Changer, the video from that. I am getting into Athletes Go Live. Athletes Go Live is it's sort of a one-stop shop for your scoring and your video, and getting that video without you having to do too much over to the college coaches. Emailing certain people, being on someone's radar. So we're going to visit their website here in a little bit. We're going to talk about a couple things with that. But I want to get into live streaming in general. With live streaming, first and foremost, automatically assume that the audio on that camera is on as well. And anybody and everybody around is picked up on that mic and broadcasted to every person that watches or eventually will watch that live stream. As you put this into your social media and as you put these clips in there, be mindful of that, right? Make sure that we're not just paying attention to the video, we're also hearing that audio involved. Language, conduct, different things. Songs, mommies and daddies bashing. You know, we could hit a home run, and as you're rounding the bases, someone could be belittling, talking down, saying something about this other team, about this other pitcher. You know, you don't want the mama of the girl that hit the home run to be bashing. You know, it could just not. It could be turn out to be not such a very good thing. So make sure when you let the parents know, coaches, make sure parents know, hey, this is live stream. We can hear everything. And then once they understand it one time, it just takes them one time to hear themselves saying things they shouldn't say, or things they should have kept to themselves, or things they don't necessarily want other people to hear. It takes just one time for it to come out, and then boom, now we don't look so great. Okay? So with that live streaming, does a lot of great things. It connects families and friends all over the country to be able to see it. The live streaming has gotten better over the years. It's not just a phone anymore. And it goes to Facebook Live, and then we're putting that post on there. I don't own the rights to this music. Okay, look, that post that says I do not own the rights to this music, background noise, blah blah blah, copyright this. Okay, look, they don't care that you don't own the rights. They're still gonna knock you. Okay. They're going to knock it down. It doesn't matter if you tell them you don't own them. It doesn't give you permission to use it because you say, "Hey, I don't own them, but I'm still going to use them. I'm not trying to make any money off of it." It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So that little post that you put on there with the stars, I do not own the rights to this. Hey, Facebook, I don't own the rights to this. It doesn't matter. Okay. They're still going to hit you for that copyright infringement. Okay, look it up. Instead of following the trend and saying, "Hey, this is what everybody else is doing and it's working," it still doesn't make it legal. Still doesn't make it right. Okay, it's just a matter if they get to it and they see it and then they knock you. Okay, it doesn't automatically get shut down, but it doesn't save you from that copyright infringement claim by saying you don't own the rights to it. So like when I'm doing my live streams here on YouTube, and I play something that is owned by somebody, depending on what I'm doing, if I'm putting it out there as I'm the creator of it, or if I'm the owner of this, if I make it seem that that's what's going on, they're going to shut it down and they'll cut the stream off. If I'm using a song as a part of the show, like on Monday we revisited Angela Tincher's no-hitter against Team USA, right? Once it was all said and done and the video was able to be uploaded and YouTube was able to go through everything of this stream, in my inbox, there was some copyright claims. It wasn't copyright strikes or anything like that. It was just saying, hey, that video, your live stream, and B, the video, the VOD of the video, it goes up like that 3-hour video is on the channel now. You can't monetize it, meaning I can't make money off of what I did because it listed there were certain songs in that video on YouTube that's owned by WME or owned by Sony or owned by whoever. You know, some of the highlight songs they put in there, to where I can't use that footage to make money for myself. They're not going to knock it down or take it off unless I put it out there like this was my production. Like if I didn't have myself on the screen, or if I didn't have my my different things that you can see like up here, or you can see like it's clearly known that I am using that video, and I'm talking about that video. I'm saying, hey, watch this. They put this together. I didn't put it out there as mine. So that's the same thing that Facebook does. And like when you do it on YouTube, and you live stream it over onto YouTube, or if you're, I don't know if anybody's really doing it over doing TikTok lives or Twitter lives or anything like that. But I know the two most popular ones are the ones that are on Facebook and the ones that are on YouTube. That little disclaimer that you put out there, I don't own the rights, that doesn't excuse you and lets it be out there. You may have been lucky and been able to stream and not gotten knocked down yet, but at some point it's going to catch up to you. If I would go straight from Sideline HD over onto Facebook, it would just keep getting knocked off. It would keep getting knocked off. Last year, whether it be the high school games or wherever, I've been able to get it over onto YouTube, and it's going through Sideline HD. The audio that you can hear is kind of like the walk-up music and that kind of stuff is it doesn't come through as clear. So for whatever reason, it's not getting hit and taken down. There will be a copyright claim saying, hey, you can't make money off this. And that's what it boils down to. They don't want to see you where it looks like you're trying to make money off of someone else's stuff, someone else's media, if you will. So that's the whole thing with the copyright and stuff with the live streaming. But back to the point of live stream, you want to be able to see that, get that in-game footage. You want to be able to record that and get that in-game footage. So like with Sideline, it'll hit those clips. Now, you go to a lot of these ballparks and they want you to buy their service. They want you to, hey, we got cameras, we want you to use their service. Or you'll go to these ballparks that just don't have very good Wi-Fi, or just keeps knocking you off. So you'll use like a hotspot or use your phone or whatever. And it's almost like on a repeater. Like it'll be good, and then like the connection will reset, and it automatically resets. So a lot of times, I experienced it this past weekend. It'd be like 3 or 4 plays would be good to go, and then it would say, hey, stream is down, and it'd be down for like 10 seconds, and the stream is up. Well, it didn't knock it completely off. It's just spinning, trying to find connection, then boom, and now we've missed a pitch, or missed a play, or missed this, or missed that. So it's gotten better, and it'll continue to get better. And if you're one of the lucky ones that don't have any problem with whatever service or device that you're using, great. We all fighting the same battle. We all dealing with the same stuff. There are different things out there. There's different services that you can use. I'm not going to tell you to use one over the other. I don't get paid from any of them to tell you to use it, so I'm not going to tell you to use one over the other. So with that, you have you have Game Changer, which Game Changer is a great tool. I love Game Changer. It's able to keep the stats. It's able, because like for me, I may not be able to watch the video. I could be driving or something, but I can hit the little audio and get the play-by-play. Someone's scoring the game, and I'm able to kind of listen to the game just like I was listening to a baseball game on the radio. So I love Game Changer. I like being able to kind of recap a weekend looking at the stats. Like if you play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you can kind of take a block out of it and look at the stats and look at trends, look at some of your players and see kind of what's going on. Right, you have to take stats a lot of times at this level. More times than not, you have to take it with a grain of salt. And because usually the person that's scoring the game is a mama or a daddy. Usually. I'm not saying every time. Don't take this as the gospel, and this is your situation. Don't hit me up on Facebook or Twitter or one of these comments down below like I'm the scorekeeper and I keep the score. Don't hit me up like that. Okay. With whatever. Just hear me out on this. They get caught up in it. They got other daughters. They got other kids, other sons that are running around. different things going on. They're trying to watch their kid play the game too. So the stats aren't the greatest, right? For most cases. I'll say 80%, okay? 80%. The stats are being kept on that game changer by someone that knows enough to do it. But if you're looking for detailed stats of what scoring questions, like for instance, would you score that a wild pitch or a pass ball? It's up to the interpretation of whoever's scoring that thing. So as a coach, when you're looking at stats trying to figure out this or that, you got to take that in consideration as well. Hopefully you're running a book too. You have someone doing a book. You have someone keeping game changer. And then, of course, the other team as well. So if the coach is looking at stats, looking at different things, they're comparing their eye test to their stats, it gives them something to kind of bounce back off of. Or they could see something in the stats and be able to kind of, in this game, do I remember this play? You know, they can talk to the scorekeeper. They can talk to the person running the game changer and kind of find out this or that. Some coaches go strictly off of stats whenever they're looking at making their lineups. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying that some coaches do that. So they want to bat the ones with their highest average. They're looking at who's leading the team in RBIs. You know, we want to put them in situations where usually, just talking generalities, usually you want to have your high contact hitters in certain places. You want to have your high RBI players in certain situations. The people with high on base percentage, you want to have them in certain situations. So they're going to look at stats because they can't remember every single play, every single game to notice any trends. So they go to that game changer hoping that those stats are, you know, somewhat correct. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to get into a situation to where they have no idea. It's not doing them any good to have these stats. So if you are the stat man or the stat girl, make sure that you're doing the best that you possibly can at this. If you have questions, ask those questions. How would you score this? How would you score that? And where that comes into play yet is if you have a pitcher. Now this is the older groups as much as it is the younger groups. Don't get me wrong with that. But if you have a pitcher that is paying attention to her, she wants to make sure her strikeouts are where they're at. Are they increasing? You know, you don't know why people want to use stats. So you have to try to keep as accurate of stat as you possibly can. It's not just keeping the score right. You know, I think a lot of times with Game Changer, it's just trying to keep the score right. So if the Game Changer is going to be used as a tool, or any scoring mechanism is going to be used as a tool, Athletes Go Live, whatever, it's got to be accurate. Or let them know, hey, dude, I'm just keeping score with this. It's errors, hits, whatever. That's not going to be accurate. But if your coach is going to be using the stats, which most of them will, if they're going to be using those stats to kind of look at and see different things, then they need to be accurate. They can't be biased. A lot of times you can go look at someone's game changer and you'll know right away whose kid whose kid is theirs. You can look at it. It's just how it is. It's crazy. So you got to be unbiased, and you try to keep it as accurate as possible. And the reason why is because if you're boosting stats, you may not even know it. You may not even be doing it on purpose. It may not even be a thing that you even know about. But when you start when you don't keep accurate, you end up hurting those players. And how that comes about is you could. Well, first off, let me say this: college coaches don't care about the stats. they don't care because they don't know the competition that you're playing, and they don't know who the person is keeping the stats. And it's not like watching NCAA. It's not a standard across the board. It's not like the MLB. It's a standard across the board. They understand that it's different for everybody in competition, so stats really don't matter. At the end of the day, stats really don't matter unless you get into a tournament or get into some way that they can ensure that it's going to be the same across the board. Okay, that's the thing. So you look at some sanctions that make their all-star selections based off of game changer stats, off of each individual team that does their own stats, and then they submit them. I mean, is that right? Is that you know? I'll leave my opinion out on that, but it happens. Okay, so with these stats, just try to go and be as accurate as you possibly can. If you don't know how to score something, okay, learn, find out. That's it. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. It's not the end of the world. But you're going to end up hurting that athlete down the road by having inaccurate stats for that person, because they could be looking at something, looking from year to year, looking at trends or looking at different things for themselves as development. That's what I mean by you're going to hurt them down the road as development. Because if here's an example for you. Runner on first and third, right? Softball game. Runner on first and third. Runner on first steals second. Okay? I don't know how many times I see it as defensive indifference. That's not defensive indifference. It is in baseball because they've already taken their lead. They're already off the bag. They're in between bags, right? In softball, you can't leave until the pitch is released, right? So she's actively taking her lead. When she leaves that base, she's actively a part of the play now. Now she could come back, but if she goes to second base, it doesn't matter if you let her go. Doesn't matter if you tried to get her out. It's still a stolen base because she left the bag because she could have stood there. She didn't have to take a lead. It wasn't like they're already leading off. She's on the bag. She gets to second base. It can be advanced on a wild pitch, but I'll go back to first and third. That's a stolen base. It doesn't matter. Because how many times have you seen this? And the older levels that you play, you'll see this more often. You're not going to see it a whole lot at 10s or maybe 12s, but you'll see that girl from first takes off to second. The catcher throws down. They tack her out. They fire it back home and get the double play. So it's not defensive indifference if you go from first to second while runner's on third. Okay, it's a stolen base. Don't take that away from that youngin. Okay, that's just one of my pet peeves. Understanding the difference between a wild pitch and a pass ball. Okay. Talk to the coach. Look at a video. You know, it's long as your interpretation stays the same. But you can't change by, okay, whoever's pitching, I like that girl more. She's friends with my daughter more. So I'll just call it a ball or I'll call it a pass ball. Even if it's a wild pitch, and vice versa with the catcher. If your daughter is the catcher and there's not been a pass ball all season long, or there's not been an error, that's what it would go down as an in-game changer. It would go down as an error if it was a pass ball and the error is on her. If it's not a wild pitch, if the pitch using effort, normal effort. You can define normal effort all you want to. I couldn't tell you what it is. But using normal effort, should the ball have been caught? And that's a pass ball. Now, a wild pitch, if the catcher has no chance at catching it, if it bounces in front of the plate and takes a crazy hop, that's a wild pitch. Or if it gets slung through the batter's box, if the catcher's set up on the inside and the pitch goes into the batter's box on the other side, that's a wild pitch. But don't just put it down as whatever you think, because you may think it's meaningless. It doesn't mean anything, has no bearing on anything, but it does to someone, because if they know game changers there, they want it to be accurate, right? Think about it as football, as those stats. If you're trying to keep stats, or if softball had a pitch count, right? Some leagues do, and they keep it off of Game Changer. You have to keep it, or you have a clicker. You have to keep it. You want it accurate, right? It's the same thing with keeping stats. And I know, look, I don't want it to come off as you got to be perfect and the stats matter and this and that. I don't want it to come off like that. But people use them, and if they know Game Changer is there, they just want it to be accurate. So try to do the best job you can. Have that open communication with the coaches, with the assistant coaches or whatever, and let them know if you need help with it. By all means, get the help. There's actually, you go to Game Changer, there's how to score these things. Okay. Errors, accurately reporting of the errors and stuff. I know it doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but an ROE and a single are not the same. They affect the batting average differently. So if your team, if your players, how many times have you gone back and looked at the recap in the game, and it'll say such and such team committed no errors. Okay, when a game where it's like 14-2, you're going to tell me that team that they committed no errors in 12U or 10U or 14U? It's hard to believe. But what we end up doing is cooking our numbers to make our players look better. And eventually it'll catch up to them, right? Though someone else starts running Game Changer. So you run Game Changer a certain way. They get to a different team where they start playing school ball, or someone else starts running it. Something changes. And this person runs it a little bit more accurately. This person a little bit more stingy on calling this and that. All of a sudden, that girl that's been hitting 550, now she's batting 210. And to the eye, nothing has changed. It's the same contact rate. It's the same. Everything looks the same. But why is her average drop down? What in the world? It's because now people understand if a ball is hit to third base and it goes off the glove, that's not a single. It's an error. She got on base due to that error. Fielder's choices, sacrifices, that kind of stuff. So just try to keep it as accurate as you can. In the field, if you're not putting errors where errors should be, you're killing your pitcher and their stats. They're looking at their stats too. How many hits did I give up? Okay. How many balls were put in play where no play could have been made on them? That's what a hit is. Okay. A ball that a base runner reaches safe, or a batter runner reaches safe because a ball was put into play where no one should or could have made a play on it, right? But if you don't want to give little Susie an error because she misplayed a ball, and you put this girl down as a single, there's a lot of things that you're doing to that pitcher, right? You're changing the opposing team's batting average against her. That goes down as a hit against them. Instead of doing her job, getting what she wanted, a ball hit to one of her defenders, and the play just wasn't made. So we are negatively affecting stats, okay? And that could affect pitcher, her confidence. It could affect different things for her. It could affect her time on the mound. It all comes down to playing time. It could negatively impact her playing time. If a coach just goes basically off of the stats because he can't keep up with it all, he's already got all the 100 things going on, he trusts the person that's doing these stats to keep them accurately, or at least somewhat accurate. And then he looks at, what pitcher do I need to go with this game? Or the last time she played this team, this is what happened. That's a tool that can be used to help out, right? We're all about analytics now. We're all about the data. If the coaches can use this information and you can provide this information to them, Do it the best way you possibly can. Go above and beyond. Go above and beyond. Defensive playing time, it dictates too. I mean, if to the naked eye, watching games, the coach can see errors, right? Of course, he's going to work with her. He's going to maybe put her in a different position, maybe do different things. Maybe not put her in that position for this weekend or take her off, or next weekend we're going to give someone else a go out there. But then he goes back and he can't figure, he's looking at different things. He can't figure out what's happened here, right? He doesn't know who was playing where when this was recorded or this or that. Those changes can't be made. So we're just going to continue making those same mistakes over and over. And these girls, they want to see, how's my fielding percentage? Have I gotten better? Last year at this time, my fielding percentage was at like a 94. Now I'm at like a 98. I've gotten more chances and I've made less errors. So it's not just raise your hand and I'll volunteer and I'll keep Game Changer and you're just keeping the score. Man, it's so much deeper than that. And you don't know how other people use Game Changer. And you may not agree with using Game Changer as stats or using Athletes Go Live for their stats and stuff. You may not, stats don't matter at this age, or what does it matter? It could matter to somebody for a different reason that you don't agree with, and that's cool. But some people do. So you got to kind of feel that out on the team too. You got to kind of look at that. If your coach uses stats to dictate playing time, or at least has a say in the playing time, and the parents and the players know that, the parents are going to expect the stats to be accurate. I'll put that out there to you. I can't stress that enough, because you're going to make some mamas and daddies mad knowing, okay, wait a minute. And then they start looking at the stats and go, okay, well, this isn't right. Well, this isn't right. And then you go down a rabbit hole and you go, okay, well, none of these stats are right. These are just cooked stats, and they're affecting my daughter's playing time. That could be an issue. Okay? As you as a parent, on a team that uses Game Changer, Athletes Go Live, or whatever scoring metric they use, you want them to be on the harsher side. You want that, like the benefit of the doubt type stuff. It doesn't do you any good to complain about the difference between should that have been an error, should that have been a hit, or this or that. Little individual plays and stuff like that, differing opinions and stuff. Don't let it ruin it. You know what I mean? Because what it'll do is it's going to make your kid work a little bit harder to bring their numbers up. Some kids are they pay attention to their stats, and they want to. It's a goal for them. Whatever's going to make them, whatever they want to do. I mean, this is their game. This is their world. This is what they want to do. If they want to look at their stats, they want to look at their pitching numbers. If they're looking at their walks to hits, or their whip, I want to bring my whip down. I want to bring my ERA down. You're setting goals and stuff like that. And the only way to know is for someone to keep the stats for them. They can't keep the stats for themselves. The mom and daddy, they could, but they just keep accurate stats. Just keep accurate stats. And I applaud you and I appreciate you being the Game Changer volunteer, because it's stressful, it's tough. That's it on that. I do want to get into Athletes Go Live. I've mentioned it a couple different times. Athletes Go Live, it's been around a pretty good while. I don't know if you guys have gone to their website. And again, I'm not getting paid by Athletes Go Live. I don't know those guys personally. I've talked to them in different settings, different Zoom calls, and seen them around different things. But Athletes Go Live has been around for a minute, and they've done different things to change kind of how we look at and view the game, either online or looking at stats, or being able to stream this, getting our clips and getting our information, connecting our players to the college coaches. They've made a huge stride in the recent, I'd say, 6 months, 12 months. We can go back that far and look at what they've done for the game. So if you go to their website, Athletes Go Live, it looks like this. I mean, this is the website, Athletes Go Live. They do a lot of different things. They got baseball, softball, and volleyball, but they do a lot of different things within those sports that help us connect to families and friends across the country. You know, there's nothing better than being able to see people we know and love play a game, and it kind of looks like they're on ESPN. You know, it looks like, you know, it's big time. I remember the first time. I'll be honest with you. I remember the first time I was able to watch my youngins. You know, whether it was Game Changer or Athletes Go Live, or to see them on TV. The kids want to see themselves on TV. So for nothing else, I mean, Athletes Go Live, awesome, right? Streaming sports live everywhere. Okay. So you go to their website, you go to their phone, use their app. It's the easiest way. It's on the App Store, and it's on Google. But I just went ahead and jumped into the softball side of it, and we'll kind of go through this. I just want to put this out there because I know the team that my daughters are playing on. I do their live stream stuff, the video portion of this, and kind of try to do their recruiting element, try to do their video stuff, and try to do their that stuff. So we'll be transitioning over to this coming up season, the spring season. So I'm looking forward to it. I've been able to talk with the head coach, and man, he's all about it. So if he's all about it, I'm all about it. I'm going to support him, and this is where we're going to go. It looks awesome. I'm just hearing the Athletes Go Live talk and being able to talk to the head coach about this stuff, what we're going to be able to do for our athletes, and their promotion and their exposure and different things. So it's cool. So the website looks like this. You got it across the board. You can get it to it on the app. You get it to the softball right away. If you've got any questions, or if you want to schedule a meeting with them, it's literally a click away. They will get with you. Trust me, I know they will set a meeting up with you, your whole team, your parents, the coaches in your organization. They'll talk to an entire organization. They don't care if you have a Zoom meeting that you want to invite them into. Athletes Go Live will have a rep. They will come on. They will explain everything to you. They can do real quick, or they can get into detail. It depends on what you want to do, what you want to ask. Get in there, fill out the form, tell them what's up, and they can knock it out for you. I know from experience. And again, Athletes Go Live don't pay me to tell them or tell you guys about them. Okay. One cool thing about it that I like the most is the usability, the user friendly scoring element to this. And you know, Game Changer does a great job. I'm not bashing Game Changer, so none of this is about why Athletes Go Live is better than Game Changer. I'm not saying that. Game Changer has always worked great for keeping the score. Now that you can do the video and stuff like that, this is just about Athletes Go Live. So don't take this as me knocking Game Changer or knocking Sideline HD or any of that stuff. This is Athletes Go Live. So this is what it'll look like, depending on what view you're looking at. So if you're scoring it and you're running this, it's up. It's you know, this is what you'll see on your device. The players where they're positioned. You got the score, the balls and strikes, the outs, and we were just talking about trying to keep it as accurate as we can. You're choosing the pitch results. Was it a strike looking? Was it a strike swinging? Was it a ball? Was it a foul ball? When you click on that ball in play, that's when you determine you say, it was hit here. This is the play that was made, right? You have catcher's interference, intentional walk. So there's a drop, third strike, reached, right? There's things that we don't know how to record or how to put down when we're scoring a game, right? So Athletes Go Live, they understand that, and they try to do whatever they can to help you score this as accurate as possible. And why is that important? Well, it goes back to stats, right? And it's going to help you. If it's just a click away, it's going to do certain things for you. It's going to make it easier for you to keep up with it, keep an accurate score, keep an accurate count. It's going to make it more accurate. The more accurate it is, the easier it is to follow. So you got real-time box scores. If you're looking up there in the top left of the landscape phone, you got your player stats, the team stats, the live audio capability, and video clip sharing. So parents, coaches, they can get in there, get the clips emailed to them. The clips will be emailed. So you'll go in, you'll register. This is my player. This is where the clips will go. They'll be sent to me. So if you use Sideline HD or Game Changer, it's the same thing. They send you the clips, and you can do whatever you want with those clips. You can share them to whoever. You can chop them up, put them into a bigger video. You can do some comparison stuff. So the clips are sent directly to you. One huge piece, one great element to Athletes Go Live. You get recruited. You create a college watch list. You can email highlights to the coaches inside the app. You don't have to get the clip out and then send it to them, whatever. It's done from inside the app. You build a custom athlete profile. You got your information, everything you need on there. You can receive notifications when college coaches watch your games, watch your profile. They look at any videos, they look at any clips. So if somebody gets on there, and you'll find out if, say, Coach Evans is watching you, or say Coach Fernandez is watching you. You'll know that you're on their radar, and that's another element Athletes Go Live does to kind of help you along the way. They're trying to make it as user friendly and easy as possible to get your stuff, get your information, get your stuff out there in front of them. It's a great product over that side. So kind of what's included is one thing I want to get out there to you guys. Now again, I am not getting paid by Athletes Go Live to tell you about their product. I'm just telling you this is information that I've gotten that I think some people like yourself either wants more information about, never heard of them, hey, this sounds pretty cool, or oh, that's a cool option, let me pass this information on. Of course, y'all know me, that's what I do. I'm not promoting Athletes Go Live in any way. I'm just saying, hey, for me, seems pretty cool. So what's included for the fans and the athletes? Right there, ability to watch any unrestricted team. So you've got multiple daughters, right? They could multiple teams. Both of them have Athletes Go Live, or all of them have Athletes Go Live. If the team is unrestricted, you'll be able to go in there and watch their games if they're streaming live through Athletes Go Live, right? Okay. Yeah, advanced athlete stats. If you've got someone that's going to be keeping the Athletes Go Live, or they've been doing the Game Changer, now they're taking this over, or whatever, it's easier. It's the user friendliness of this makes it easier for them to keep accurate stats, to make it so you can pull from this. And say you are in one of these big time end of summer national championships, right? And the college coaches know the teams that are there. They can look at the video and go, okay, hey, this is Susie playing for this team. They're playing against Team B. They know who Team B is. So they can look and they can pull those stats from that game. What was your WHIP? What was your ERA? What was your batting average? Like, what was your on base percentage? What was it? Like, they can get stats and they can compare it to, I know this team and I know what happened, but they got to know that these stats are accurate. So this is a way to help you. You can create a watch list of colleges and college coaches. So you put it out there that you want these college coaches to see your stuff. They're tight, and they'll be able to get your stuff. You can email your college coaches directly from the app. There are a ton. I don't know what the number is now, but there are thousands of coaches, college coaches, that are using Athletes Go Live. Right, their names, they're registered. They get it for free. There's no cost to the college coach to be able to get in there and see your stuff. You'll be able to pull clips from recorded games or a lesson. So anytime you go live, anytime you using this, your stuff goes to Athletes Go Live. It goes to that cloud. It's saved there. Anybody can go get it that needs to get it. You can make sure that people have access to it, right? You can share your clips with social media or email to college coaches, just like we talked before. You can grab those clips, compile, 4 or 5 clips, put it together. Hey, this is this is the stats from, these are my 4 at-bats against this team. So the first inning you struck out. Second inning, you flied out to right. The next time you came with the bat, you hit a double, and your last at bat you walked. So it shows progression through the game. You don't want to send these college coaches just your home run clips, right? Why don't we want to send just our home run clips? They want to see you go through adversity. They want to see you strike out. They want to see the adjustments that you made. Hey, this first at bat was a 10-pitch sequence. You battled 3 and 2. You fouled off a whole bunch of pitches until it was a check swing and they called you out, or you rolled over, whatever. So they want to see that battle, right? So you're able to put these clips out there. You can stream your individual lessons, so a college coach can see you doing your lesson with your hitting coach. They can see what you're learning. They can look at your pitching lesson. They can see what you're working on. They can see anything they want to. You can record any lesson that you have, and you can make sure you upload it to your profile. So that's you as a fan and as the athlete. Moms and daddies, we're looking at this, why this is a benefit. It's a benefit for you. I like it. For me, I like that element to it. Again, it's not for everybody, and I'm not getting paid by Athletes Go Live to tell you about this stuff, but I do enjoy it. What's included for the college coaches? For me, this is a big thing for me, because I'm thinking, okay, well, how would this benefit my kids if they're trying to get recruited? Access to any live game. So they find out Batbusters A is playing against Batbusters B, right? And they want to watch that game, or they know they're playing, or they're at a showcase event and they can't get over there to that field because they're the kid that they're recruiting, the kid they came to see, is batting second in the bottom half of this inning. They can't get over to that other field, but they know that Batbusters B is playing at this time. They can pull this clip up, or they can pull that game up while they're still watching whatever. See what I'm saying? It's huge. They can go back and watch any game. Say they got 2 girls or multiple girls that are playing, and they can't be in 17 places at one time. They can end up going to one, but they'll be able to, tonight when they get back at the hotel or wherever, they can go and look at games that, I forgot they were playing, or yeah, there's no way I could get to that one. Or they're in a different town, different city, and they can't be at 2 different tournaments at the same time. This weekend they decided to go here. Next weekend they're going to go watch these other teams play. At least they can keep up with them and check them, right? That's why it's big. They can create their own player watch list. College coaches, this is huge for you, because you can start identifying the players that you want to see. So if that athlete, you want to find out, this is communication. This is a big part of the recruiting that I see more and more now, is are your athletes on Athletes Go Live? The reason why you want them on Athletes Go Live is so college coaches can put them on their radar. Okay, it could be a reason why they don't get recruited, because this coach uses AGL, and this is how they're part of their recruiting process. And if your kid isn't on their radar, then okay, they're not on their radar. Okay, post information about recruiting camps at your school. Athletes Go Live allows coaches to communicate directly with the players. It's able to put their information out there and let you know what camp dates and who's going to be where and who's going to do what. It allows you to gain access to travel and club coaches, as well as high school coaches for their contact information. This is a big thing. So you play on a team, you play on Batbusters A, and you also play at Weaver County High School. Those two schools, both of them using Athletes Go Live, you can use this with your high school and use this with your travel team. Your profile, hey, I'm a part of both of these teams. So anytime you play with your high school team here, it's there. Anytime you play with your club team here, it's there. So they're able to get to it. Okay, very, very easy to register with them. It's very simple. The process, for me at least, it was very simple. The pricing on this stuff, I'm all about the price and about the money. So you're looking for a team package. Now, I'm not going to tell you this is expensive. I'm not going to tell you this is cheap. I'm not going to tell you. You have your own opinion about the value of money. The most popular package, of course, is the team package because it kind of splits the cost up. $150 a player per year. Okay, to access to the live stream, it is not that's pretty spectacular. So the Premier Benefits Plus. So the big thing is each team receives the Athletes Go Live camera and a year of data for free, right? And this camera is ridiculous, by the way. You're able to record in-game clips, post to social media, score games offline when in areas with little to no cell service. Okay, it doesn't matter how awesome the cell service is with this camera. You're gonna find that pocket, that place that just doesn't have service. We've all been there. We've all done that. Each athlete will get a customizable recruiting platform or profile, not platform. A minimum of 12 passes is required for purchase, and it's just to cover that cost, right? Only available for annual pricing. 3 consecutive monthly payments can be made from the purchase date. Okay, so for me, if I was a coach and I was out there, this is what I would go with. To be honest with you, I would go with that team package. If you're looking for the Premier, it's a little bit higher, price, but the basic benefits plus ability to watch any unrestricted game, advanced athlete stats, create watch lists of colleges and college coaches, email the coaches directly, receive college. You can see it, you can read it yourself. Live stream individual lessons. This is for that person. So you have the team, and you get all the individual, or you just go with the individual, and then you have the basic. You can watch any team with one pass, watch any live. This is for the Athletes Go Live. This is all their events. This is everything that's going on. You can go onto the app and you can look and watch everything. It's like a subscription if you're going to YouTube, or if it's a subscription that you were going to Disney or UFC or WWE or any of this. It's like a streaming service. Okay, so if you go to the Athletes Go Live media, you can watch, like, say the AFCS. The Alliance Fastpitch Championship Series. You watch all their games, so you can watch it as a fan, right? You can watch the 14U Championship game. You can the Pathway Baseball Albuquerque. You're looking at the AAU girls, the beach volleyball, the Big South National Qualifier, right? So there's a lot to do with Athletes Go Live. The training side of this, look. They break it down so Barney style that anybody could use this. Now, I'm going to have to get back in it and look at this training before we get involved with it. But just on looking at these videos before, the user-friendly nature of this is incredible. It looks like a video game to me. I don't know what it looks like to you, but to me, that's what it looks like. It seems simple enough to where you won't get flustered if you're trying to make a decision on this call or that call. Is that an error? Is that a single? Was that a wild pitch, or was that a ball, or was that a pass ball? Okay, so it tells you how to make substitutions. It gives you a basic scoring tutorial, how to start your live stream. It just, matter of fact, it even tells you how to email college coaches. It'll tell you how to add a player photo, how to score an error with multiple runners on base. Okay, it tells you Tells you how to do what you do. On the support side, very easy, very easy. If you got any questions or something's going wrong with your camera, something, whatever, they make it simple to reach out to them and find out, hey, what's good? Hey, what's good, right? They are bringing on, I'm not 100% sure yet if Pocket Radar is up there on there. But my opinion on the Pocket Radar, putting it up there, put yourself in that pitcher's shoes, right? Put yourself in the shoes of your daughter that's pitching, knowing that every single pitch that you throw shows everybody how fast you're not throwing, right? Because all the pitchers, they want to throw harder, right? So this coach is saying, oh, she throws this hard, or this coach, or all this stuff. Then she gets up there and she's throwing in game, and she's only throwing 52. But not too long ago, she was at a pitching lesson, and she put herself out there that she'd throw 59, right? How do you think that's going to make that girl feel? So for me, I wouldn't put the Pocket Radar up there, just for me. I'm sure there's other opinions like, nah, put it out there, man. It shows real numbers. I get it. It shows real numbers. But that added pressure for a 14-year-old that's already got a whole bunch of pressure on there, just for me, I wouldn't. But that's okay if we have differing opinions. I welcome that. So anyway, Athletes Go Live. Check them out on the App Store. And immediately, if you just want to talk to them, click on it and talk to them and say, hey, look, this is I'm getting into Athletes Go Live. Help me out. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to do it? Why am I supposed to do it? That side of it. So I do want to get into the form that I was talking about from there. And with this, it's kind of like, hey, help me promote your help me talk about your team, where you're at, where you're from, what are you doing? Because I know like everybody, I know the national organizations, and but what I want to talk about is the smaller organizations. Some of these organizations that they play local, they play regionally, and they don't travel for whatever reason. They don't get out there too far. They don't they don't have a need to. They do everything in house. They do fine with recruiting. They get girls playing at the next level. They turn out future nurses and doctors and lawyers and teachers and stuff. It's just not who they are. Those are the people that I want to get out there. I want to tell you about them. I want to learn about them. So I have created a form that I want to get out there for these teams, these coaches, parents, for that matter, to get out there and to see this. I will grab this right now. I'll pull this up. I want to see you. I want to know about you. I want to hear about you. Where you're at, what you're doing, so that give you the props that you deserve. Let me know, what you do good. Well, let me know your big moments from the year. Tell me about yourself. I want to hear about you. So here, it's pretty simple. It's not. I don't know if it's out online yet. I'll have to see, but I will make sure that it's out today. I'll make sure it goes live so that you can fill this out, and I'll get the email, and we'll start putting this together. I'll get a couple of them, and we'll start putting them out. Maybe we'll do it once a week, twice a week, shout you out, and have you on, and we'll see. So just starting out basic info, kind of who's submitting this form, right? Just let me know your name so I know who I'm talking to, who I'm contacting, either by text message. Put a text message on there, or put your text number. Don't put a house number on there. I don't want to call you and interrupt you while you're eating dinner or while you're watching Game of Thrones or whatever you guys are watching. If you'd rather talk through email, cool, that's fine. We can do through email. So this is for anybody. If you're a player, let me know. If you're a coach, let me know. If you're a team mom, let me know. If you're just a parent on the team and you're there for support and you bring all the sliced oranges and stuff, let me know. From there, we will go to the age group. Let me know what age group you're in or what you're going into. And if you're in between two, like, hey, I'm 12, 14. I was 12 last year. I'm going into 14. Do like 12/14. Let me know. Let me know the team colors, right? Let me know what you're representing. Let me know where you're at. The thing is, we got teams, we got sanctions all over the country. And I want to know, I'm in Montana. I'm in Florida. I'm in Texas. I'm in Tennessee. Let me know where you're at. Give me a city and a state, or give me a town. Give me whatever. The tournament sanctions. Let me know where you're playing at. Let me know the sanction names. And don't give me abbreviations on this, because I'll butcher an abbreviation. I'll see something. I'll go, man, what is that? Let me know kind of where you're playing. Are you playing in U-Trip? Are you playing in Top Gun? Are you playing in the DF Dub? Are you playing in the Alliance? Are you playing in PGF? Is this you playing in the Little League? Or where? Let me know what your sanction is. Kind of give me a feel for where you're at. Let me know too, like, your favorite memory from this past year. What's something big that happened this year? I want to get out there. I want to promote that too. What's your future plans as a coach, or as a player, as a daughter, as a parent, as an organization? Let me, all this stuff, I left it vague so you can kind of give me some of your personality and how you want to answer these questions. I'm not telling you, one-word answers. Don't do that to me. And I have to, find somebody else. But let me know that kind of stuff. And then these are kind of like these open-ended type discussion questions. What do you love most about softball? And I'm going to get a bunch of different answers on this. As maybe the head of an organization, what do you love most about it? Maybe as a parent, maybe as a player, as a coach, as an assistant, maybe as just a volunteer. Maybe you drive the team in a bus. What do you love most about your role in softball? If you could change something, what would it be? Now, I'm not talking about balls and strikes, and I'm not talking about bad calls. I'm talking about, like, if you could change something that in the game, what would that change be? Getting it on national TV, getting it wherever. A professional league in all the cities or something like that. Let me know, like, what it would be. And also, how did you learn about Black Diamond Softball and Fitness? Where did I come across your screen at? Was it on Twitter, TikTok, Facebook? Did you see me out on the street? How did you get this form? Did you get it from the live stream? Did you get it from the VOD? Wherever you got it from? Right? So I'm going to make sure that I put this out for you to have. Once you click that submit button, it goes to Jot form, I guess. And but I know I tested it earlier yesterday, and I got an email, so I was able to get to it. So what I'll do with this information is I'll pull this. I'll have this. I'll pull this out, and I'm gonna do something with it as far as having you guys a spot on the live show. The morning show, be able to talk about you guys, promote you guys a little bit. I'll grab some your website or maybe your Facebook page or wherever you're at, and I'll get some information from you as well. And I'll be in contact with whoever provides this form, and we'll do something cool. And between now and when the season kicks off, I'm looking forward to the college softball season. That's for sure. I know we've been. We've been spoiled this past year with a whole bunch of games and stuff on. We're in fall ball right now, so I know we're all trying to figure out ways to watch these games. Some of them have been on like ESPN Plus and live stream maybe from the individual school. So I can't wait for this to get going. I know you guys are the same way. It's the way the show's going to work. Next year, early spring, or at least during the college softball season. We're going to be recapping. So like Mondays, we'll recap the weekend, kind of what went on. We will break on Wednesdays. We'll kind of break down some of the news and notes some of maybe the postmortem, maybe some of the fallout from what's going on, maybe some coach firings, hopefully not, some key injuries, maybe some key upsets, maybe some players and some teams on the rise, different things like that. And then on Fridays, we'll kind of recap the week a little bit, and then we'll talk about things leading into the weekend series and stuff. And then, of course, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we'll recap the games and that'll be going on during the week as well. We'll talk about, high school ball. I know there's high school ball going on right now in the fall. So we're going to start getting into that. I know spring is when a lot of states are playing their softball too. So we're going to be kind of pulling in that element to the show, kind of recapping what's going on. We'll talk about some of the teams that are in the area that I know of, and then talking about teams throughout the country. Trying to help promote them, get them out there, get the word out there. Because anytime we can talk about the game of softball, let's talk about the game of softball. But I do want to promote it as far as the way this show will be constructed in the springtime will be different than the way it is now. I know now it's just a lot of me talking and giving you my opinion on different things, and so I know it's not the greatest, but to be honest with you, I'm just doing these right now to work the kinks out. So if you get on here and you get some information from me that you like or whatever, hey, I appreciate it. Following and getting on and jumping on these live streams. But a good buddy of mine, Coach Tom Bunn, he actually messaged me yesterday, and we were talking about kind of what we're going to do moving forward. I'm going to have him on and kind of just getting his opinion. We're recapping stuff that's going to be happening during the season. So he's excited for that. I'm excited to have him on. Patrick Jones as well, kind of growing the game. We're going to have him on as a regular guest and kind of getting his opinion on stuff. He loves the game of softball. I mean, he grew up in the game of baseball, played the game, worked in the Orioles organization, and his calling changed. He found a calling in softball, trying to help and develop softball players as well, not just baseball. So I want to have his input and have his opinion on different things as well. And of course, you guys know Coach Nate and Josh Cathcart from Hitting Done Right. Those guys, man, characters. I love having those guys on and talking. I talk to them. We message throughout the week, trying to figure out different things. We'll message something back and forth, and then just start another conversation. But those guys, they want to come on and kind of contribute to the morning show as well. The podcast itself has sort of taken a back seat as I get the live stream launched and off the ground, and kind of get it in the right direction. So this, I don't know, I wish I could explain it in a way that people would understand kind of where the direction of this is going. What you're seeing on the day-to-day basis with the show and stuff, it's not the final product. It's kind of like we're rough drafting it, and I'm trying to put information in there so that you're not just watching it to support me because you're a buddy or you're a friend, but getting it out there to the people that just shows that, hey man, there's a show coming. There's a show out there. This guy, he's putting softball out there. And what I'm trying to do, in all honesty, is connect the dots from a lady in Florida that has a daughter that plays 12U to a guy that's in Oregon that has a daughter that's going off to college. And I want those people to be able to connect. I want to connect worlds. I want to connect opinions. I want to connect agreements and disagreements. I want people to come together and have this whole softball world, this softball community, and what's affecting you and what's affecting her and what's affecting me. We can kind of talk about it. We have somewhere, we have a guy, we have a show here that he's bringing us softball content. He's bringing things up that maybe I didn't know about, or I didn't realize, or I didn't have access to, but now I know where to find this information at. Now I know who I can go talk to. Now I know the right person. Or he said, hey, go to this direction and you'll find who you need to ask to get that answer. I'm just trying to connect, trying to link. I have Jen Starkey Driscoll. She's always, hey, look, man, Jen's always got something brewing, right? She's always for the kids, always for the people, always for whoever she can help. So we're going to have her on. I'm looking to bring her on this Friday just to catch up with her, just to talk to her. And she's always full of energy, always full of positivity, always helps with communication. So I'll try to link up with her and have her on the Friday show. If not, I'll have her on here in the near future. I do have a surprise guest coming on the podcast here pretty soon. So that will be coming out. That'll be coming out here pretty soon. I don't have the exact date of when I'm going to release that yet, but there is a special guest with the podcast that I'm putting out. It should go out here pretty soon. I got to figure out the dates on it, but it should be coming out here pretty soon. We will be wrapping up this season of the podcast. The end of November will be the last podcast of this season, and then we will not start the next season of the podcast until the first week of January. Of course, there'll be episodes being recorded and being talked about and talked to and stuff like that. But the last episode of this season's podcast will be coming out at the end of November. So we have a few more to put out. And like I said, we're putting a lot of the effort, a lot of the energy, a lot of the time into making sure that the Foul Pole to Foul Pole morning show is right. We're ready to launch the same time that the softball season kicks off as well. So right now it's kind of like an intro, the preface, if you will, the preface, to get it just right. Because I am, for the most part, on the production side of everything, I am a one-man band. I was actually talking to Coach Tom Bunn about that yesterday. Telling him kind of like what I'm dealing with and kind of trying to learn and figure out on my side. Because like I said, man, I'm a dummy. I'm just trying to connect people. And this whole thing started, man, let's see. I think we kind of went live with the podcast stuff in January. And, it just started with I'm asking these questions. I'm trying to find this information. I know I can't be the only one. I know I'm not the only one that has this question. So how do I find this? And who do I talk to? And that's what I did. I started talking to people. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. And I had some friends that said, go for it. And, of course, those friends turned into more friends and connected me to more people. And it just kind of grew. And so I appreciate all the help, all the support that I get from anybody, all the guests that want to come on and talk, all the people that like and comment and share and subscribe to the channels and or subscribe to the channel. On the audio side, that stuff is out there. It's gotten a huge. Recently, the podcast has taken off on the audio side. It's the numbers of the downloads and the listens have gone way up. So I appreciate all that support over there. And the podcast space right now there's a bunch of us out there doing this, and I love it. I think it's great. I think anytime we can talk about something positive, it's awesome. Whether you're listening to a podcast about the game, or you're listening to a podcast about another game, softball, is great, but there's also, baseball and basketball and football. We're talking about youth sports, talking about mental health, communication. Anytime you can, listen to that and it sparks your interest, or at least gets you thinking about something and gets you to, offer your opinion to yourself. I'm like, well, how do I feel about that? Or that's interesting. Or it gets you a conversation with a spouse or a loved one or someone. Hey, I heard this today. And it's just, it's that good feeling of hearing someone be passionate about something, and it makes you feel good. Or at least that I do. Like if I hear someone that's, passionate about a sport or passionate about a hobby or a topic or something like that I may or may not be interested in the beginning, and then I hear it, I'm like, wow, okay. And I tell you, and I tell you what's crazy. Everybody has either heard of or knows of Logan Paul, right? the Jake Paul and the Logan Paul. Well, Logan Paul is crazy in a lot of people's eyes, right? He has got the podcast Impulsive, and it is done very well. I mean, he's got the money to have a studio and the production and to have the people and the sounds and the lighting and the all this stuff, right? Well, just on I don't know how it ended up getting to my YouTube page or my recommended or whatever, but I don't remember the first guest that was on his show. Maybe it was Dane, the first one that I heard, not the first, his overall first guest, but the first one that I listened to, I paid attention to. And so it got me thinking, like, dude, Logan is legit. He's not just creating like this weird content to get views, and he's not trying to be crazy. He's talking to these people and finding out about them, wanting the information, wanting to talk to them. So I think it was the one with Dana White or someone, because I like UFC. I like Dana White, and Dana White was doing an interview, so I think maybe that's how I got to it. But I ended up watching the podcast Impulsive, and now so I've gone to his channel now. I've subscribed to it, and I pay attention to his podcast. Now, not every single one of his guests do I know or do I like or do I pay attention to or anything like that. But the thing is, it's recommended to me now, so I'm subscribed to it so I can listen to his podcast, and I'll tell people about different things that I've heard on there, and you just find out different things from listening to this type of podcast. And of course, everybody knows like Joe Rogan. Everybody knows these Full Send and these other big time podcasts. So because they have the big time guests on there, and they're talking about the popular things. And so with that podcast, people can talk about really anything that's going on in the world. Whatever newsmakers is happening, they can talk about it. Well, with softball, and where this is primarily based in the softball world, the softball element, that's where I'm trying to keep most of this content. Now, of course, some of my personality is going to come out, and I'll be talking about different things as what I got going on in my life, because with 3 daughters, and it's busy. The wife and I, we got something going on. So with this, it's the information that I'm trying to put out there, and then talk about my experiences. And I'll go back and I'll say it again. Just because I talk about something on here, or I'm giving my opinion on something, or I'm talking about a subject, don't read too far into it and go, okay, well, this is his opinion, and he doesn't like this or he doesn't like that. Just like we were just talking about Athletes Go Live, I've never personally used the product. I have just putting this information out there because the information was provided to me. I thought it was worthwhile to get it out there. Someone else has never heard about this. You see these posts all the time on social media. What camera do you use? Do you use Mevo or GoPro? Do you use Game Changer to stream, or do you stream on Facebook or this or that? Well, here you go. Here's Athletes Go Live. This is another option for you. It's got the camera. It's got the Wi-Fi built in. It's got all that information right there on their website, on their app. Try it out. And then when you're there, look at what all Athletes Go Live does for coaches, for athletes, for college coaches. It's out there for you to use. So that's information that I was able to obtain and get it out there to you to have. So that's kind of like what we're doing here now over at Black Diamond Softball and Fitness with the Foul Pole to Foul Pole live morning show and the podcast. I try to put out stuff just to get you guys to think about it, and if it gets you to thinking in the right direction, or towards a question that you didn't know you had, but it'd be awesome if you knew the answer. Then that's why we do it. When I talk to the athletes that I work with throughout the week, I get a spark an interest in them to want to know more, and that's what we do. I think that's what some of the best leaders in our world has always done. If you can spark interest into thought, if you can get people thinking, get them thinking in the right direction, you get people thinking, you get them in motion, you get great things that can happen. Helping out the community, helping out your friends and neighbors, inspiring people. That's why we're here. That's why I'm here. And I've told you many times, for the ones that's, heard me speak before, if this is your first time ever being on the live, I I don't care if it's one person that leaves a like. I don't care if it's one person that subscribes or comments. As long as I have touched you in some way to at least spark a thought in your mind, then I've done what I've set out to do with this whole thing. Um, I don't do it to become famous. I don't do it to become rich. I don't do it to become anything other than someone you can go to that will spark a thought for a change in your mind. So with your athletes, I just want to pass on information, and you take it for what it's worth. You do what you will with that information. With the, you'll see it on the Facebook posts and stuff. A lot of the stuff that I'll post out there, it's literally just to provoke thought. Like I'm not putting it out there as, hey, this is the gospel, and if you don't agree with me, then you're wrong. No, I don't. That's not me, right? I put it out there for you to say, hey, wait a minute, that's a thought right there. I didn't even think about that. It does, and what's funny is it doesn't matter what the thought is. I could just throw it out there and say, you know what, I bet you somebody else would. I wonder how they would respond to this. Or let me get their opinion on this. And that's the cool thing about these Facebook groups that are out there. You can post something in there, and people they'll jump all over you, right? They're like, oh, you're wrong for this, or you're wrong for that. Okay, well, I'll just throwing it out there. I didn't mean to, make you think that because I'm saying this is the gospel and this is the only way there is. No, I'm not saying that or thinking like that at all, right? So the other day, I put this post out there. Don't let comparison be the thief of joy. We find ourselves a lot of times, right, comparing ourselves to Susie or keeping up with the Joneses down the road, and then we lose that sight. We lose that joy, right? We lose why we're here. So I posted it out there, and I got a huge response. A lot of people are like, hey, wait a minute. So what that tells me is, we are like, hey, where are we at with this? I'm not the only one that says, hey, let's slow down. Let's pump our brakes a little bit and be like, why are we doing this, man? Why are we continue to compare ourselves with someone else? We're taking all the fun out of it, right? We're losing why we started this whole thing, right? And that's just another one of those that I put out there for people to think about. And the biggest one, that I guess the most controversial post I've put out there yet is, should practices be open or closed to parents? Here's the thing about that post. If I would have defined the post as should an 8U travel team's practice be open or closed to parents? Of course, those practices should be open to parents, right? If a parent was to come sit down and watch the practice, that practice should be open, right? At least that would be my opinion. Okay? My opinion changes when I talk about a varsity high school practice. My opinion. Now, your opinion may stay the same. No, it should be open. My opinion changed. I think it should be closed. I think at this point, by this time, most of the kids are driving to school. They're able to get themselves to and from and this and that, right? At least that's my opinion. That's what I think. I don't know what your opinion is. I welcome your opinion. I want to have the conversation. Why do you think it should be open? This is why I think it should be closed. Okay, I see your point. I see that's a valid point. It may or may not change my opinion. I don't know what your point is, but I put it out there. But this is that post I put out there where that guy was like, that's a dumb question, or that's a stupid question, or can I just say this, how dumb this question is? Absolutely, you can say how dumb the question is. But I have over 130 people that commented on this saying it should be closed, saying it should be open. So these posts and stuff that you see, you make yourself look ignorant if you try to bash the original poster. And that's one of those things that we were talking about earlier. Or at least I was talking. I didn't hear y'all talking. It's like it's another question, and if I go down this rabbit hole again, talking about guest players, right? This is a huge topic in our game, especially on the youth, the youth level, right? So there's a big difference between picking up a guest player due to injury or illness and picking up a guest player to fill a spot for a win, right? So there's a huge opinion on when and where guest players should be picked up and played with, right? That sparked a huge side of it. There are people that went on both sides of the spectrum. I don't even have an opinion. I don't have an opinion one way or the other. Because I can see scenarios where me as a coach would do both. Right? I just want to spark that thought with people. And man, you wouldn't believe people jumping up, like they'll read it and go, okay, well, he feels this way or this is the way he is. Well, you don't know. You don't know me. you don't know me. And this was another big one too. I just threw out a myth busting thing saying, hey, if you want to play in college, if I want to play in college, I can't be a multi-sport athlete in high school, because there is such a huge debate on when you should, focus on one sport or concentrate on one sport over the other sport. I'm just putting these posts out there. I'm not saying that my opinion is right. For this athlete, this would be my opinion. For that athlete, I would have a different opinion. It depends on the situation, depends on the scenario, depends on where you're from. It depends on, there's a lot of different things. And that's why I put it out there for your opinion. So I don't want people to think because I post one thing or the other, then that's the way I believe in it. And if you differ from me, then you're wrong. No, I want you to differ from me. That's why I don't want to lead you on with which side of the fence I'm on or which, what my opinion is. Because if I tell you my opinion, you're going to go one way or the other. You're going to have those contrarian people that will disagree with you just because they want to disagree with you. And you know what's funny? As I could post some huge inspirational thing and not get any reaction whatsoever. But I could post something like this and get a ton of reaction from it. Because we're, as humans, and especially nowadays, we have this predisposition to argue and not want to not agree with someone. We want to it's almost like we have to one up somebody. So with this one right here, is there any prerequisites to adding Premier Gold, National Futures, Elite, or Select to a team name? I asked the question. And then here we go. You got it from both sides. People do it, but people hate to see that name. People don't do it, but people would love to add that name to it. So there's two sides to this question, right? What makes a team a national team, a select team, a gold team? What do you have to do for it? And I knew there was going to be opinions on both sides of it. But if you try to put something out there inspirational to inspire somebody or to make somebody feel good, gets nothing, gets no likes. People don't want to see that. People don't care about it. Yeah. That bracket picture you're looking for may already be on your team waiting to show you she can do it. This right here is a lot of parents that have that kid that hasn't had that opportunity yet to show what they can do. They want to share this and put this out there. They want their coach of their daughter's team to see this. And maybe that was their way. Maybe it inspired a coach to say, hey, you know what? I am going to give Susie a shot this weekend. She's pitched in a couple of pool games for me, a couple of innings early on, kind of her first time. I think she's ready now. That's why I do it. And I could have a positive effect on you, or it could end up having a negative effect on you. I don't want to have a negative effect on you. I hope everything that you get from me is a positive impact. It's something. But I'm just, hey man, this is all from the heart. Everything I do is all from the heart. A lot of the scenarios and stuff that I talk about could be, from my past, or it could be from when I was coaching, or, It could be anything. Somebody I'm talking to, a buddy of mine that's going, sharing some information to me or what he's got going on. But the will to prepare should equal the will to win. I'll leave you with that one today. All right? Your will to prepare needs to equal your will to win. And that could be with anything in life. I'm not talking about a game. I'm not talking about, this tournament or that tournament. But your will to win and your will to prepare have got to be the same. If you're in there putting in the work, trying to be dominant, trying to learn this new pitch, trying to fix your pop time, trying to get faster around the bases, and you want to win that small battle that you got. The battle is I want to get better. The battle is I want to get faster. You have a huge will to win that, to reach that achievement. You also got to have that same level of will to go through the preparation, to put the work in, to work your butt off to get to that point. You have to prepare your body, prepare your mind, prepare yourself for that event. You can't just hope and wish it comes true, then there we are and there it is. It just doesn't happen like that. So a lot of times we end up sitting on the couch. It doesn't matter what age you are. A lot of times we sit in the bed or we sit in the wherever we're at. We get lost in social media. We get lost in watching TikToks and shorts and this and that, and we're watching a whole bunch of garbage that's not going to do anything for us down the road. We get lazy. We settle. We just go through the motions, and we got to stop. So with that, remind our athletes, remind yourself, my will to prepare has got to reach my will to win. If I'm going to put the work in, or if I want the results, if I want these results, passing this test, getting this job, buying this car, buying this house, starting this business, earning this degree, whatever is your win, whatever you put down as that dub, right? Whatever you put down as that win, whatever you're going to consider it as is winning, right? The will to prepare, the will to go through, the will to grind, the will to put the work in has got to equal that will to be able to say, hey, look what I did. To wear that medal, to put that degree up on the wall, right? You got to go for it. You got to do your thing. You got to jam it out, okay? So that's my thing. That's what I'm going to leave you guys with today. Friday, I hope to be back with a brand new show. Trying to line up a special guest for Friday. We'll have some big news heading into next week. I am going to put the jot form that I just did. I'm going to put this into the chat so you can fill that out. I'll put that in there. All right, so that's in the chat, and I will put it also in the description of the live. So that jot form is there. Again, that is to let me know who you are, whether you're a player, coach, college coach, organization, parent, mommy, player, whatever. Let me know. Fill out that form. We'll spotlight you here on the live stream, and we'll get you something cool in return. So Friday, trying to get some stuff worked out for the show on Friday. That one too, be cool. Next week we're jumping into some stuff. Have a brand new podcast out for next week as well. If you haven't gone over to the Facebook page, Black Diamond Softball and Fitness over on Facebook. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on TikTok. Check us out on Twitter. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do so. Helps out the algorithm, gets this message out there to more and more people. The biggest thing is people just don't know that we're here. People don't know what we're doing. Just haven't hit the algorithm yet with this live stream to get more and more people on here. So if you know someone that is into softball, that's what we do here. That's what this is. We're all about softball and what goes on in and around the game of softball.
I try to talk to as many people as I can. So promote this for me if you can. Pass this message on. Talk to anybody that you know. Tell them, hey, I got a dude that's on YouTube or he's on Facebook, and he's got a live show and he talks about softball. So he's got some guests on that come on and do different things. So help pass the word for me. And again, I appreciate you doing what you do for me here. Just coming on, liking the videos, subscribing, that stuff. I appreciate everything you do. I appreciate all the support. Truly does mean a lot to me, having you guys on, just popping in, saying what's up, and then getting out. It's makes me feel good. So I appreciate that. I know we're doing the right thing here. Hopefully this will continue to grow. So with that, I will leave you with the message again. The will to prepare should equal the will to win. However that impacts you, I hope it at least sparks some thought. All right. If you're catching this on the VOD channel later, I appreciate you stopping by. And this video and the clips for this will be out later this week, so you can check that out as well. Thank you, guys.
Wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a